You set my soul on fire. Baby.
Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name is Sacred, and I wanted to make a little video about Arc 3.0. I found a build that I really enjoy that's centered around the sidearm. I don't really use sidearms, but my friend kind of put me on to this gun, this little special thing right here. So this build is pretty much about playing on the edge of the blade. It's high risk, high reward type of play that this build really kind of goes around. It's not something that necessarily you want to bring into, like, you know, ultra sensitive situations, but if you're just farming for stuff, or, you know, maybe you're doing a raid or something like that and you just want to have that ad control, this is such a fantastic build. This is something that is so fun. It really kind of got me on the edge of my chair playing because it's so rewarding. So essentially we're playing around the Brigand's Law, I think that's how you say it, the Brigand's Law, and we're also playing around the speed loader slacks. So these are brand new. They've been introduced into the Lightfall expansion. As crazy as the expansion is right now, I know it's a hot topic. These exotics aren't too bad. They actually benefit the whole team, which is great. So the way that we initiate the speed loader slacks is to do a hunter's dodge, and then after we've dodged, we've kind of like started up our engine. Then we just need to keep revving it. So in order to rev it, we just need to keep getting kills. And if there's no kills to be had, you also can do another hunter dodge and max out your stacks at 5 if they were already there. It pretty much just kind of keeps the engine running, and that's kind of like what we want to do. We're playing against the clock a little bit with this build. For stats, it really doesn't matter how you want to stat because of all the stat changes that have come down. Resilience used to be 40% damage reduction. It got knocked down to 30. So, I mean, if you need your stat points to be redistributed any kind of way, you can go to the ninth tier of your damage reduction, for example. Maybe stretch it and go to the 8th tier because it's only 3% per tier, and you could prioritize some of your points into maybe your discipline, or more importantly, in my opinion, the mobility, because, like, again, you want to be dodging all the time. Brigand's Law is a really crazy sidearm. I'm prioritizing reload speed and handling, but you can change this up however you want. The main thing I think you really need to have is threat detector and bolt shot. Everything else is just up to you. I like flared Megwell, so that way I can have that really high reload speed. And of course we're running minor spec, and I also have a reload intrinsic put on this. Let me back out. So let's look at some of our mods. Arc Siphon for the helmet. They've changed the mods this season, and they're a lot different than what they used to be. So if you're kind of coming to the game and this is your first expansion, or this is your first Destiny experience, things are just a lot different. And the veteran players and other players that have been playing the game for a little while, we're trying to figure out builds and trying to figure out what's optimal. So the landscape is pretty fun because, like, anything can go. So for this, I'm running Arc Siphon in my helmet, so that way that I am generating orbs of power. I have Arc Loader to push that reload speed even more because I'm constantly proccing bolt shot. For my chest piece, you know, concussive dampener and melee damage resistance is kind of where I'm at because I'm in the thick of everything and I'm in the heart of all of it. But you could sub these out for something like Font of Endurance, or, you know, emergency reinforcement, whichever suits your play best. For the speed loader slacks, I'm rocking the arc weapon surge. I have 2 of them on, still trying to feel how effective these are, but feel free to move them around. But I think having at least one is a must have for your damage. And then right here on the cloak, I'm rocking a Font of Restoration. It's not necessarily needed, but it's good to have that extra recovery because we're going to be like right in the thick of things. And let's take a look at our abilities and our fragments and aspects. So aspects, of course, we're going with Flow State and Tempest Strike. We don't really have a need for Lethal Current. Fragments, this is where it gets kind of crazy. The most important one that you really want to have is Spark of Shock to make use of our grenade. Spark of Amplitude and Spark of Recharge can kind of come in and out of this build depending on what you want. But Spark of Resistance I think is an absolute must have. It's nice to have that extra strength, and plus we just want to have some extra resistance to the damage that we're going to be in front of. But Spark of Amplitude is great because we'll be making even more orbs of power whenever we are amplified, which will be all the time. Spark of Recharge is good because we want to have more energy coming in if we do get to a point of, hey, I'm about to die or I'm getting really low. Playing on the edge of the blade is the way I put it. Because of that reason, I like to run the flashbang grenade because it has the lowest cooldown of all the grenades, and also it has a little bit of a utility with the fact that it can blind our enemies, so that we're kind of having a safety net in a way, and it also jolts the crap out of everything in its proximity. But feel free to change it up. I mean, you know, pulse grenade could be a great option. Arc bolt grenade could be a great option. The skip grenades could be a great option, but this is just works best with me. But a Spark of Amplitude and Recharge can come out, and you can sub in something like Spark of Brilliance if you can manage to land precision shots while the enemies are blinded from the blinding nade. You're going to blind the whole room, so that's another great fragment to have in the mix. But I mean, you could have Spark of Ions in here if you want to have more of your abilities coming back more reliably. You can have Spark of Discharge. Spark of Frequency could be great if you want to even further push the reload to proc jolt even more aggressively, but it's up to you. Really just want to stress the fact that this is a very like flexible thing. So the only thing I don't think you would want to do is like something like Spark of Volts, because I mean, you can do it, but I feel like it's so easy to get amplified that you don't really need it. And Spark of Feedback, I don't really think we're going to be going for a lot of melee. So this is like the blueprint of the build. Let's go check it out in action with some events over in Neomuna. We're going to go hit up the terminal overload. So let's see what we could do. So to begin this, we're going to be using our Marksman Dodge. That's going to give us our stat boost and our speed bonuses that we're after. Every repeat kill is only going to get that stack higher up to its maximum of 5. If there's no enemies around and your dodge is up, go ahead and use your dodge. It's going to refresh your timer for another 15 seconds. We're going to get amplified once we kill an enemy, reload, jolt the next enemy, and kill them. We'll get amplified again. So it's just a constant loop, just a big loop over and over again. And this is what I was talking about playing on the edge of your seat and kind of like being on the edge of the blade. And it's just very tempo play. It's as long as there's enemies around you and as long as you're surrounded, you're going to see real big benefits from this build. It's pretty funny. I got the top speed bounty completed. And if you don't like arc, you could take these speed loader slacks into other subclasses like solar, and they'll see a lot of benefit there from on your mark being procced. But I really feel like they shine on arc. I feel like that's the class that they're made for. But that's the good thing about the sandbox changes too. Anything goes. It's all about just having flexibility and a choice of what you want to do and how you want to play it. If you don't like them on arc, throw them on solar. Why not? It's going to reward that risky play. Getting in front of the enemy, being right there on the front lines. But it's just so damn rewarding whenever you see everything disappear and get destroyed. And your energy is just constantly coming back. Rocket launcher reloads, no problem. This is a good example of being in critical health and having your abilities return to you really quickly. Keep an eye on that grenade energy. And then we go into the red. Got our grenade back. Dodge just comes back so fast. So again, this is a build that I enjoy. I hope that you enjoy it. I hope it's something that you can put into your build. If you do not have this particular sidearm, it's fine as long as you have a weapon that has jolt and you prioritize anything that'll put that reload speed at the very top of its capability. You're going to see success with this build, I think. So thank you guys for tuning in and checking out the video. My name is Sacred. We're streaming at Twitch most days out of the week. I'll leave my Twitch link down in the bio. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you like what you saw here today. And don't forget, it's always high fives and stage dives.